Everyone, this is Joe Berkebile, and we're back again with the Living Your Best Life series. And this is a program that I put together as a goal to just talk to everyday people, wonderful people, creative people, smart people, people that are going to just share a little bit with us. And I have this idea that everyone has a story to tell and everyone can be an inspiration. And so that's what this series is all about. And so today we have my buddy Wax from Houzeof Waxx. And if you would please welcome him, you can share in the comments, ask any questions or whatever. But thank you for joining me today, Wax. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're at?
First, I want to say, thank you for having me, Dale. You've been doing amazing work, and I appreciate the support that you've been giving us, and meeting on social media. It's like a weird way of meeting people like nowadays. So just want to thank you for having me on the show and supporting me.
Right on, man.
My name is Wax from Houzeof Waxx. We're a social media platform that brings awareness to music, and we're trying to eventually become a nonprofit. And it's like we're a startup, so um, it's been trying, some trials and tribulations, but it's been going. Um, we've talked to a lot of organizations that's been willing to lend support and help with fundraising and upcoming events and things like that. Social media has been like really well for awareness, so mental health awareness. A lot of people aren't really open about their mental health, so I figure what is a better way than coming together over music. So um, it's been a really positive experience. We've been able to reach out and help some people. People have come onto our platform and have shared their stories, and so it's been it's been a beautiful thing. I can say that with Rock Girls 80 and Dead Boy Entertainment, like being the other part of Houzeof Waxx, and like really launching this platform. So, but it's been a dream come true being able to share my stories and the things that I've been through, been able to help other people, and using music as a vessel to be able to get people to open up about maybe their collection, or then their collection turns into nostalgia, the nostalgia turns into how they're feeling, and how they're feeling turns into opening up about their mental their mental state, you know what I mean? So um I think we all underestimate the power, the power of music, like the healing aspects of it. We use music for everything. As of course, as you use music too, and what you're doing. And I mean, I can't think of a day that I haven't like listened to music. I mean, I think the world would be, a horrible place without music. So, but I think it definitely helps um, a lot of people, you know, when they're not able to communicate, or they're feeling some type of way, or they just want to get away and want to relax. I think music has been like, a big, huge part of my life.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, cool. Um, obviously, our connection has been through music, so I feel you there. I mean, music cuts through a lot of BS and and, and
Right.
can calm you down or rev you up or do whatever you need to deal with your emotions and things like that. So um, that's pretty cool. Um, one of the questions that I start out this program with is talking about Hellagood Life and what that means to you. Because everyone has a little bit different take on things, just like music. You know, you can listen to a song and I can listen to a song and we can take away different things from it. So any thoughts on what it means to live a Hellagood life?
I think, well, I would say, in the past, I thought I was living, pretty good life. Um, but I think I wasn't me. And I think I wasn't doing what I was meant to be doing. And, sometimes, God takes things away from us, not as a punishment, but, to make you better. And I think, when I met Rock Girls 80, the first thing she did was like she put a camera in my hand and I started taking like photos and started getting into photography. I had been into photography before, but I like just totally forgot about it, And we were down in Jersey on the beach and taking pictures, and next thing I know, I fell in love with it again. And then it just I think it like resonated into other things that like I had forgotten that I actually love. I mean, I've never stopped loving music, but I think having anxiety and depression, I think I was more or less collecting vinyl and music as something to do, not so much like really appreciating it and listening to it. I was just collecting it because it was just something to get me out of the house, to go to record stores and other places like that. And it was easier back, shoot, that was 15 years ago. It was easier because vinyl was considered dead media. So it was like you can anything you wanted, you can go find it. Like not today, you know what I mean? You're not gonna walk in a record store and be like, yeah, I want a original John Coltrane Love Supreme record. Yeah, they'll look at you like, like if you're willing to spend $500 for it. But I think that she helped me find myself, and I think again, I failed a lot. Even when me and her got together, I was failing at a lot of stuff I wanted to do. Not so much failing, but I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. I still didn't know, and I think once I really start, getting back into the love of music and being able to like dissect it like how I used to, I think, like music started talking to me again. And then, her, being there to support me, from a previous, situation I was in, as far as like being homeless and, living in my car. And, she dropped what she was doing, was living in the car with me. And, we went from living in the car to living in the storage unit at her job. Our boss was nice enough to let us, live in like a storage closet until we was able to find something, because she just didn't want us sleeping in the car. But I think once we moved and got an apartment, and then I didn't know that she was into music like she was, so we bonded over music, and it was like, it was just like a dream come true, being able to find somebody that was into the same stuff that I was. It started as that, and then we started in photography, then we started in writing, and then here we are building a platform for anxiety, depression, and positivity as far as my nephew goes, and domestic violence for what she's spreading. So this platform has just been my dream. And it's weird because it's like, you have a dream that you don't even know that's your dream. You know what I mean? Because you didn't really think that, I would be here. So, but being able to use music and to be able to spread awareness, to be able to help people, and taking the negative things that, you've been through in your life and turn it to a positive to be able to help other people. So I know mental health is it's like, I don't want to say it's new, but I think, how it was treated in the past, we still don't know. And I think we're just now starting to like open up and try to understand it, because, in the 50s and before that, they would just lock you away in an asylum, or, you would just be locked away in a room. Then it went from that to kids being put in special ed classes because they didn't know what was wrong with them, to now everything's a pill. Everybody's being doped up with medicine or whatever, but nobody's really still trying to dissect what is really wrong. And I think I'm just mainly just trying to use music to um, help with whatever else you're using to help with your mental health. So like people on the platform was thinking I was saying, well, music is a cure-all, or forget what your psychiatrist is saying or your doctors are saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I mean is, don't stop living your life, and that's what music is. Music is don't stop living your life. Just because you're on medicine or you're seeing a psychiatrist doesn't mean you can't use music too. You know what I mean? So I think this platform has been like I think a part of my life. I think it's just been something I've really wanted to do, but again I didn't know that I wanted to do it. So I think at this point I can honestly say that I feel like I'm living a really good life, being able to help people and being able to open up to people. This platform has even helped me being able to talk to people and being able to even talk to you now. Because a year ago I wouldn't have been able to be talking to you on social media and knowing that people were going to see it. My anxiety wouldn't allow me to. So this platform, it's helped me as well as other people. So I mean, um, it's it's just been a fun journey, man. It really has, meeting people like you and like Eric Essex and other people. It's just I never can imagine. Like it's just beyond my imagination. Like ain't that can imagine. So it's been tremendous.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really great. Um, so I kind of throw this little curveball out. Uh, so I have three questions that I ask, and you can pick one of them, or you can answer all of them, or whatever strikes your fancy. So we'll just kind of run with it. So the first question is, where do you find the most joy? Um, the second question is, what inspires you? And then the third question is, what is your superpower? So any of those strike a chord and
Well, I think my inner child inspires me. So, you know, like, being silly, just, being able to listen to my music or read my comic books, or I have toys that, that she helps me collect. And, so I think that's definitely been, one of the things that like, I think that helps me, inspires me. I think my family, I think my family like really inspires me, especially like, since I've come out about anxiety, depression, they definitely inspire me and want me to be the best that I could be. And, and I think being around people that are going to be truthful and honest with you has been like one of the best things, because, you get, what people call yes men, where they're just with you and they just say, yeah, that's a good idea. Everything is yes, you know what I mean? But, you need some people that's going to tell you, no, not a good idea. No, just, you know what I mean? So, um, my sister and my nephew and, and my fiance always telling me no if it's not a good idea, or they reel me in. So they inspire me the most to be the best that I can be. In return, I try to do the best that I can for them.
awesome.
You know what I mean? So my superpowers would be, I think it's a gift and a curses, which is taking on other people's problems as my own.
Mm,
And and I think sometimes you take on more of the problem than they do, and you're trying to fix everything. And I think everybody doesn't want to be fixed. Some people just want you to listen. Some people just want you to be there. They don't always want to be fixed. And I think people who see psychiatrists and doctors, that's usually the feeling that they have, is they don't want to be fixed. They want to be heard, but they don't want to be fixed. They don't want to be told what's wrong with them. They want to tell you what's wrong with them. So I would say that would be my superpower. But like I said, I think, again, it could be a curse too, because taking on other people's problems, and you don't know what you're getting yourself into, or you don't know if you're being used, if it's even true, you know what I mean, what they're saying to you. So, but I mean, I would say, those definitely have been, my inspirations and superpowers. And music evolves, and music is been a part of all of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think, my sister always knew how much music meant to me. I think my fiance, I think she knew once she seen my collection, and she was just like, that's a lot of music. So right. So I think I'm up to 2,000 records. I think like about 400 CDs and like maybe about 100 cassettes, and that's downsized.
Awesome.
That's I had to purge a couple times. So I mean, but I think music is, I think being a fan of music, I think it's just different, because I think, when people say music, everybody looks at music like, you talk music, everybody's an artist. People are, making music or making beats or rapping or they're in a rock band, but you never hear like fans of music speak up. You know what I mean? So I think, one of the things I was thinking, yesterday is I wanted to try to figure out a way how music can actually give back to society. Not so much as a artist giving back to a society, but how is, if you've been buying music since you were maybe, we'll say 12 or 14 years old, and here you are 40, how is, $100,000 that you spent in a lifetime of music, how's it really helped your community or helped you?
Right.
You know what I mean? So now I'm thinking, we're trying to start a program called Digging for a Cause, which is it's a roundup program that, record stores or, shops that sell guitars or, instruments or whatever, they round up to the nearest dollar, and the proceeds get donated to a crisis hotline in their community.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So this way, you buying music actually really gives back to the community.
Hmm. Interesting.
So, because like once we buy the record or the CD, it goes home and sits on the shelf. That's the last that we remember of.
Right.
It doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't really, it helps you whenever you feel like playing it, but it really physically doesn't help the community. You know what I mean? And I think, in our travels, going to different cities and different states, being able to get different record shops to be able to support this, program. I think, not only my community, but other communities, it'll be able to help.
Sure.
So we're looking to launch that probably like next month. We got we'll be up in Cleveland. We have a DJ who has a record store. Shout out to DJ Total Chaos of Cleveland, Ohio, and his shop is Just Jetties. So he's agreed to spearhead the Digging for a Cause program. And here, and you already know Jerry's in Pittsburgh, so I'm going to talk to Chris about getting something done here. And I think Rock Girls told me that Ka-Chunk is in Baltimore, so they're showing some interest in being part of the Digging for a Cause program too.
Interesting. Yeah, it makes me think of Bono's Red program. I don't know exactly all the details, but the selling red products to raise money for different causes and things like that. I mean, right. I don't know. I have the red iPhone to kind of support or give back a little bit. So I think having programs tied to community is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, and I think it's easier because versus you standing in traffic waving a bucket, and nothing against that, but I think when you're getting people to donate where they're already shopping is a little easier.
Right.
And you're not asking them to donate much, you know what I mean? If you're rounding up to the nearest dollar and your purchase comes to $9.50, who's not going to donate 50 cents?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but it's a start, and pennies add up. So I mean, a lot of these programs, they don't have funding at all. So I think they'll be appreciative, whatever monies that we're able to raise for
Cool. That sounds good.
them. So my question is, so how are you living your best life?
Well, so my best life is partly connecting with great people, connecting with all kinds of people, hearing people's story. I mean, doing this is one of the things I do to live my best life. Um, I think that in the divisive times that we're in, this is one way that I can start making connections with all kinds of people all across the country and all across the world, really.
Right.
And so I mean, that's one of the things that I'm doing. But I do believe that the giving back and helping sort of thing is a huge part of it for me.
Right.
um but yeah, so
So how do you think Rock Girls 80 Dana is his and like asking them questions, how's music helped me when we first got together. So I'm going to extend the question to you: is how do you think music has helped you in your career, or how do you think has it helped you with anxiety or depression?
I don't know that it's helped me in my career per se, other than uh using it as energy to keep fired up and keep after it. I had a music blog, kind of zine for a couple years, and so there was a little bit of that, but that wasn't really career or business. It was just kind of hobby fun. Uh, how's it helped with depression and anxiety? I just think having some of these things on accessible, having some go-to things that you allow you to relax is kind of is good. So I mean, part of my depression, I think, was I took a break from my passion for music because I was busy building my other business and was focused on other things, and so it just that's one of the things that I was neglecting as sort of a self-care almost, right? And so if we neglect things that we're passionate about, hobbies
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is, um and we don't address those, if other things hit in life, then we're kind of in a place where we're susceptible to issues, problems. You're right, and that's where things sort of fell apart. I had a bunch of things falling apart, and music was an easy way to tap back into one of my passions and joys. And so yeah, so I mean, I just got back to it. I used to go see quite a few live shows because I love live music. And that was another thing. So I wasn't buying new music, and I wasn't going to shows because my life was doing, whatever, these other things. And I missed all that stuff. So, started picking up a couple shows from time to time and picking up some new albums and
I see,
and,
like,
playing music a little bit.
I see you getting back in the swing of it. You know what I mean? I see you be busy, but I see you posting music here and there. I'm seeing it. You slowly getting back into it. It take time.
Well, my days are full with these kids and whatnot, and so playing a record with my youngest likes to throw things makes me nervous. and, and
My thing is this. Like one thing I've I've learned is there's a listening collection and there's a collection. You don't play the collection if your environment is at risk.
Right.
So therefore, you
Little,
go to Walmart and you get you some listening collection.
it's a little bit at risk.
So
Yeah.
like if you get a nice gash in a $28 record, it ain't gonna hurt as much. But if you get a nice gash in a $150 record, somebody ain't going to college.
Right.
You better stand on the freeway and sell them oranges.
Well,
I don't think the wife would probably like that, but
oh, she knows. But so, in the one of the questions that I often ask is, what is one of your biggest successes or areas you're most proud of in life?
I would literally say this Houzeof Waxx has really been the most successful thing I've done, and I express that with um, the people that I've been doing, my family that I've been doing it with, and it's just been amazing to be able to just help people and talk music, because my sister is actually the one who first introduced me to music. I think I
Oh,
mentioned on our other on the other show that we did that the first cassette tape maybe I had got was Slick Rick, children's store, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick, and she threw it away because I guess the tape was the cassette was the tape was coming out of it.
oh
So of course
yeah.
I opened it up and fixed it. So when she came home, heard me listen to it, she stole it back. You know what I mean? So that was mainly my introduction into music. So I would say it was only right for her, the person that actually introduced me to music, to bring them into helping me do this.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
And I think to be able to build something, for my nieces and my nephew, to be able to leave them something when I'm gone, and be able to bond together helping people.
Right.
And I think it's the traveling that we've been through. He's expressed how grateful he's been to being able to spend time and being able to open his eyes to different music and different places and different situations, and being able to help him be creative. So I think this has been probably the best thing. I can't even say probably, it has definitely been the best thing that I've done. And it's like, again, things that happen that we think are bad or being taken away from us, or things that we lose, we don't realize that it's moving us closer to being successful.
Right.
Because when
Right.
you're going, whatever it is you're going through at that time, negatively, as we're thinking, we don't realize that it's opening the door for something grander and better.
Right.
But when
Well,
you're
I think
in that moment, you can only think about what's going wrong in that moment.
right.
Just like whatever, like the business that you were doing, you were like advertisement, right?
Marketing, yeah.
Marketing, right?
Branding.
So, but here you are. If somebody would have told you you would be having a social media platform and helping people with meditation and stress and stuff like that, you wouldn't have believed it.
Right.
So but I think Houzeof Waxx it's been therapeutic. It's been good for my life. It's been I mean, my way of giving back to my community. It's helped me communicate better. Again, like I said, I wouldn't have been able to be here talking to you. So I think this has been. I'm not gonna go and say my life's work like I'm an old dude, like I've been doing this like 100 years or something like that. But I could see it being my life's work.
Right.
We're talking 20, 30 years from now. You know what I mean? And Houzeof Waxx is still here, and God willing, yeah, I think I'll be able to say, this has been my life's work.
Awesome. Awesome. Very good. Well, so The next question that I usually ask is, what was one of the biggest hurdles or challenges you had to overcome in life?
I think, you know, coming out to everybody about my anxiety and my depression. I think I had swallowed it down for like 30 years,
Hmm.
and a lot of different types of forms of abuse, physically, emotionally, psychologically, financially, and I never would go, ask people for help. I was always trying to take it all on myself, and I think that getting over yourself is one of the biggest hurdles in business and life and anything you do is getting over yourself.
Right.
And and being men, it's hard to ask for help because we we're not supposed to ask for help. So, like I think society has trained us that you're weak if you ask for help.
Right.
But like now that we're trying to break that stigma and get out of that, everybody needs help. Nobody does anything by themselves.
Right.
So getting over myself, coming out about anxiety and depression, speaking to my family, communicating better, those have been my biggest hurdles that that's held me back. And I think because I've gotten over them hurdles, I'm able to you know um, live my best life.
Right. Right.
So I think that mixing that with helping people, you can't go wrong. You can never go wrong helping people.
Right.
And but you got to be genuine. You can't look for something like you can't look for payment or you can't look for credit or whatever it is you're doing. You got to be genuine if you're doing it for the love of it.
Right.
So I think I'm anticipating this journey and the programs we're launching and finally getting our LLC and our nonprofit status. Like hopefully, by this winter we'll be able to, finish our paperwork on that. Andre Anderson, the Barbecue Church, he's been helping us. Z Management's been helping us. Rock Rosati, Dead Boy Entertainment, like Avis Car Rental. All these places have, like believed in me and believed in this platform. When I was just like, I was just a Joe Schmo coming off the street talking about anxiety, depression through music. And it's like, the person that actually, really gave me inspiration is Andre Anderson when he said that he was going to do a virtual church barbecuing, doing sermons and talking recipes. And I'm thinking like, hey man, look, if that's what you want to do, I'm support you. I mean, did I have my doubts? A little bit because I'm thinking, barbecue in church. I don't know, but hey, he does the sermons every Sunday. People love him. He's even opened up his doors to helping me. So I mean, we have our website up now that he sponsored to build. He sponsored our website, so we officially have our website that went live Friday.
Mm.
And the website is www.waxmentalhealth.org. And like it's our programs are on there, our bios and what we're about, and our mission statement is all on there. If anybody's interested, in checking us out. But it's been amazing. Sky's the limit, and I think it took COVID again, something bad to open up everybody's eyes to being able to get up off your butt, being able to do something, help somebody, help yourself, get a degree, pay your credit off, own a house. It's everybody complains about what they don't have, but I think entrepreneurship is up. And the millennials, as old guys, we playing from behind because we keep thinking going to work, working hard, it'll get you somewhere. And now the millennials are they're working smarter, not harder.
Right.
So if you'd have been told me I'd have been talking to a camera, talking to thousands of people, I'd have been like, man, you're crazy. There's no way in heck. But
Hmm.
again, here we are. Two
Right.
old dudes talking about music, being entrepreneurs.
Right. So let me ask you a question there, based on something you mentioned earlier and kind of tied to this. One of the big challenges, I think, for men in general with mental health is, coming out and kind of sharing that with people. Um, how was the family response and things like that? Were they helpful and supportive, or were they uh, kind of blown away or shocked a little bit by it, and kind of, you know, I don't know. I guess the reason I ask is because, someone out there watching this may be going through this right now. So I think it's a great topic to address if you like to share.
I think I was more surprised because when I did come out to the family and tell them about, my struggles with, anxiety and depression, my sister, she's 6 years older than me. So she had already like was telling me when I finally came out to her, she was telling me that she had the same issues.
Mm,
She had, the same anxieties, the same, um, things happened to her, the battles, the struggles and stuff like that. So how I feel is I cheated myself for so many years when I could have went to her and talked to her
mm,
and we could have been, helping each other.
right on.
Because, she probably thought she couldn't come to me or embarrassed to come to me and invite, because she being an older sister, you know what I mean, older sibling, she thinking that she may have to, show strength in the family about, being that person. And we could have been leaning on each other.
Yeah.
You, you
Right.
know, my fiance, she said the same thing. She's had struggles and anxiety and depressions, and she's had panic attacks and stuff like that. But see, when I met her, I was going through it. So that communication was pretty easy. And not that she's a stranger, but it's like they always say it's easier to talk to strangers than it is somebody you know.
So, sometimes. Right.
Right. So it was easier to talk to her because I guess you feel like, if you're talking to a stranger at a bus stop or something, you'll never see him again. So what do you care what they think about you? You know what I mean? Versus family or somebody you work with that you see every day. That's going to be a little bit more judgmental. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, but yeah, my family, basically they were saying, how come you just didn't come out, sooner? Family's family, man. I don't think, people are going to, I'm not going to say 100% everybody's family is going to be, supportive. I mean, I think they would. I would hope they would, but everybody's situation is different, and I think that you're not going to know unless you speak up.
Right.
And you may be able to talk to your boss, or you may be able to talk to your supervisor, or you may be able to talk to your doctor, or talk to your family, your friend, anybody. But now I will say this. When I was going through, before I met her, I was going through, like, it was bad. It was really bad, really,
Mm,
really bad. And I went to my doctor, and I had a sick time. I had sick time at work, and I really wanted to take it, but you really can't. You can't use sick time unless you have a doctor's excuse.
mm,
So I went to the doctor and told, doctor, I explained to her what I was going through. I told her I was homeless. I told her that, that I was in a bad way, everything, and I said, I really just need time off from work. I'm not feeling well. I'm not in a well place. And I was like, I just really need a doctor's excuse so I could take some time off. I just, need mental time off. My doctor, which is no longer my doctor now, but the doctor looked at me and said, "You look fine to me. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong with you," and turned and walked out.
mm,
So then the nurse comes in. I think, I'm really upset, and she's seen how upset I was. So she went and tried to explain to the doctor, what was wrong with me and what I was going through. And I think the doctor scolded her. So she came back in upset and crying that she couldn't help me.
Mm.
And I really wanted to say something to the doctor. I really did, but there was people that I cared about that worked with this doctor.
Mm.
And I was afraid of, retaliation to them. So I just, I didn't say anything. But I mean, I may still say something with that person's permission because, now that this platform really means something to me, I feel like, her eyes need to be open to other people like me that are coming there for help.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure there's somebody in your practice or somebody in that network that you may not be a psychiatrist, but there may be somebody that your patient's asking for help that you can guide them to.
Right.
And not turning your back and walking out saying nothing looks wrong with you. So, I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to look like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
mental health doesn't look like a broken arm.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but
that's the problem. We don't recognize it sometimes ourselves, and anyone else can not recognize it unless you understand the symptoms, unless you understand, this isn't the way things are supposed to be or whatever.
right.
So that's a big deal.
And that's why we post what we post. You know what I mean? Sign, it may be 10 signs of anxiety and depression, and like the 988 crisis hotline that's been launched nationwide now. You got to be, if it's one of those, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, then you need to get out of the way.
Right.
Because there's a ton of people in there that want to help and are looking to help. And I don't care if you're a professional doctor. I don't care who you are. If you're hindering the progress, you need to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Because everybody's not going to have a voice to speak up. And if we can become that voice, I don't mind it. But again, I told you that's one of my superhero downfalls is trying to take on everybody's problem and trying to speak for everybody.
Right. All right, buddy. Well, hey, I have this question for you. So, what's one tip that you may be able to give people to help them live their best life? Any thoughts?
Be who you want to be who you are intentionally.
Awesome.
Be who you are. Don't let nobody keep you from being who you are or what you want to be or what you want to go after. And remember, your goals and your dreams are your goals and your dreams. It may not be a vision for somebody else to see it.
Right
So
on.
just keep getting after it.
Awesome.
It's going to be hard. It ain't going to be easy, but also enjoy the process. Fall in love with the process. Because if you fall in love with the process, when it gets hard, you'll keep going.
Right.
When people don't support you, you may only have you yourself to support. That's your biggest supporter. So there's going to be way more doors shut in your face than open doors. So yeah, just intentionally be, Dana, like my fiance said, intentionally be in what did you say? Intentionally be intention. Have intentions. Intentionally. Right. That's what she says.
Right.
So again, gotta have a support system.
Yeah, right on. That's another one.
Yeah, support systems are huge. You gotta have be around the same like-minded people.
Right. So true.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for being on the show. And for those watching, anyone want to be on the show, reach out in the comments and let me know. I'd be happy to welcome you on. And if you like any of the stuff we're talking about, share this with anyone you need. If you're over on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, man, thank you for being on here. And I appreciate you giving me some time to talk today.
I think Rock Rose 80 just said that she's interested in being on your show.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
So I'll make sure she gets that information.
Right on.
So yeah, we're gonna send some people your way. You know, like I told you to reach out to me when you need some help. So and here he is, being a man, not reaching out for help.
Hey, you know, I'm always asking for assistance on the social stuff. So
Okay,
I
but
look forward to.
now this is my last question.
Okay.
It ain't what you ask, it's
Who you ask?
there you go.
I gotta be asking the right people, no doubt.
There it is. See, now we just had a breakthrough.
Right on.
I'm not gonna mess with you. I know it's too early. All right, Dale, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Right. Yeah, of course, man. All right. You have a good day. And thanks everyone for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right, man. Keep living your best life, yo.
Right on.